But you understand you still might be on film answering the question, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's my voice.
I just want to let you know that that's still a possibility if you choose to answer a question.
I'm not interested.
Class is yours, Mr. Miranda.
Alright folks, so like Mr. Andrew just said, I'm going to be kind of chiming in a little bit today to help you guys prep for your midterm proficiencies that are coming up right after break. So we're going to do a quick review of the 3 Abrahamic religions today, and then focus a lot more on kind of what we started talking about yesterday, that you were sharing with me that you really said that you knew, the 5 pillars of Islam. So I'm going to pass out this chart. We're going to work on it together. A little bit in partners, and then I'm going to be asking for some answers. So everybody will get a chance to share. So all you need on your desk right now is a pencil and this paper that I'm handing out to you. Pencil, pen, or this paper. Feel free to be jealous of my solid pictures that I drew on there. Alright, so at the top of this chart, we see... What does it say at the top? Raise your hand. Owen. Can you try that again without yelling? 3 Abrahamic religions. Why do we call them the 3 Abrahamic religions? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Why do we call them the 3 Abrahamic religions, Quentin?
Because Abraham is sort of the founder of all 3.
Exactly. So right at the top, right, we have Abraham kind of leading the way to the creation of these 3 religions. So on the next blank is the name of each of the 3 religions. Do you guys remember what religion is symbolized by the Star of David? Leah. Judaism. Okay, raise your hand, raise your hand. You can tell me which religion is symbolized by a cross. Rita. Christianity. And Kobe, can you round us out with the last one? A crescent moon. Islam. Okay, if you look to the left of that chart, you see a bunch of different titles. So, and some of them didn't come out super great on the copier. So you have name, you have founder, you have deity name, so the name of their god, holy book, worship place, and clergy. So what I want you guys to do right now is spend 5 minutes, I'm going to set my timer, 5 minutes, working with somebody around you to try to fill in those missing blanks. I'll go over the answers at the end, but you're going to try to fill in the answers to those blanks. Oh, and before you start working, can you remind me what the directions are?
Work with someone near you to fill in all the blanks.
Okay, and how much time do you have?
5.
Excellent, your 5 minutes starts now. You are filling in as many blanks as you can. Remember, this is preparation for your midterm. Clergy are things like Christianity or clergy or Quentin just asked a great question. Remember, clergy means the leader of that church, synagogue, or mosque. Do you remember what all of those? See, what we're talking about?
What's that say? so they fully understand. Is your phone out?
I see people working, which is awesome. Make sure we're staying focused on our tasks. We're staying focused on the task at hand. I'll give you guys a time check. 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. So it's whoever is like the leader of like the local congregation. So if you were like for Christianity, for example, priest, minister, pastor. Whew. Folks got a lot of plates still doing, which is good. Well, what do the Christians pray to their do you know what the Jewish John took out our notes, which is a great idea, using our resources that we have. Sort with your partner. If we have tools to use, we should use them.
Quickly get to stuff that you find very interesting.
It's very similar to this.
Yeah. This should be first, right? This is actually something. This leads right into the synopsis.
What's that down? So, where's where do they go? Right? No, so if you're a Muslim, you go to a mosque. Where do people go on Sunday if they're Christian? Alright, that is time. So please, Dr. Francis, we're going to go over the answers right now. We're going to share them out. Alright, let's start. Would you guys rather go across or down?
Down.
Raise your hand when I go down. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to call that majority. So let's start with Judaism. Who is the founder of Judaism? Owen. Abraham, nice. Some people might also then kind of go a little bit further in history and say Moses, because if you were to read the stories that were in the Jewish Holy Book, which is what? Does everybody know? The Torah. Moses accepts the Ten Commandments and really starts this single religion, has this moment where it's written that he was speaking to God in a burning bush, right? He's having this conversation with God, officially becomes a prophet, and kind of starts this process. So some people could say Abraham or Moses. What do people who are Jewish refer to their God as? Ben?
Yahweh.
Yahweh. You might also see I am as well. So I am being how God presented himself to Moses in the burning bush. I am who I am. We already said the Holy Book was the Torah. I think they're called, you can either of them. Worship place, guys ever travel to Newport, which is right down the road? Well, 40 minutes down the road, 30 minutes down the road, depending on who's driving. Synagogue, Synagogue. America's oldest synagogue is right in the city of Newport. It's a beautiful building. If you're ever down there, check it out. And who is one of the leaders of? Who would be the leader of the synagogue? Who would be the person speaking the most? Rabbi.
Mr. Miranda.
Yes.
The Torah, if you guys remember the Torah, books 1 through 5, it's the most important part of the Jewish Holy Book, which is called the Talmud. So the Talmud is what we call the Old Testament from a Christian perspective, but the Torah is the most important books. It's the first 5 books.
So we're seeing some intersection there. Okay, Christianity. Kiara, since you're talking, who is the founder of Christianity? Jesus. How do most Christians refer to their deity? Yep. Is this God the same as Yahweh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good. And what is the Christian holy book? The Bible. Yep, comprised of both Old and New, right? So taking some of the Old Testament from the actual Jewish tradition, and then adding the stories of Jesus and the letters that we believe we're going to be talking about, kind of the different communities and how Christianity spreads and the growth of the church, coming up post-midterm. And where do people go on Sunday if they identify as Christian? Church. Church, chapel, cathedral, all different variations. So a big thing right now in Christianity is kind of smaller congregations where you can have an empty strip mall. Does anybody know what a strip mall is? So, you know where the old movie theater used to be in New Bedford? So like that area where there's a bunch of stores connected. If there's an empty space, a lot of times in larger communities, like boom, a church is going to go there. And it's going to be a small group of people that come together, believe in God and Jesus, and read the Bible together. On the flip side, if you go to some places in the South or in the Midwest, there are going to be mega churches, right? Larger than stadiums, right? They're crazy. You can watch them on TV, right? Somebody giving a sermon, millions of dollars are donated to churches like that. Okay, so kind of there's a lot of variability in there. And who are leaders in these places? So, could be considered one, priest, pastor, deacons are church leaders. And we'll be talking about all of these are a little bit further when we talk more about kind of the separation of the Christian church and how that happened. Okay, let's go back up to Islam. Who is the founder of Islam? Muhammad. Can you, in the Islamic tradition, is it allowed to have any picture or display of Muhammad? No. Ironically, in the Supreme Court building in the United States, there is though. What do people who are Muslim refer to as their deity? Allah. Is Allah the same as the Christian God? Yes. Right? So all three the same. And what is their holy book? Quran. And where do they go to worship? Mosque. And does anyone know what the name of the person who leads that? Starts with an I. It's Imam. I-M-A-M. They're a little bit different from a priest. They're not necessarily like a ordained church leader, but somebody who would be considered an expert on the Quran and can lead the mosque in prayer. Any questions on any of this? Okay, we're gonna. Which one? So it's S-Y-N. A-G. O-G. We're going to zoom in a little bit on the Islamic religion and look at their 5 pillars. Anybody need this up there, or should I switch over? We're good? So you will have to know the 5 pillars. You won't necessarily have to know the Arabic names for them. So these are the Arabic names. We'll zoom into each one and talk about which one it represents. So Rita just asked a great question. She looked at us and she's like, what do those words mean? Okay? These are the Arabic terms for the 5 pillars of Islam. We're going to be zooming in, and you'll be able to write down, so you remember when you go to study for your midterm, you'll be able to write down what each of them means. So we're going to start our journey through the 5 pillars at Shahada, which is profession of faith. It's profession of faith. Shahada is the profession of faith. And remember, this profession of faith, this first piece, this first pillar, is repeated 5 times a day when Muslims pray. Okay, they begin their prayer with "There is no God except Allah, and Muhammad is the apostle of God." So again, there is no God except Allah, Muhammad is the apostle. Is that profession of faith repeated 5 times a day? Any questions on this? Okay, next up, I believe, we're going to go to Salah. So S-A-L-A-H, which is prayer. Yeah.
On the last one, wouldn't that mean that they agree with us because Allah is the same as God?
Yes. So by us, I'm assuming that you mean whatever religion you identify as.
Yeah, because we believe that God is the only one.
Okay. So remember, careful, we're not assuming people's religion. So we're saying Christians believe, exactly. Right? So these 3 religions are very similar. Right? Everybody's like, oh, they're totally different. Right? Oh my gosh, if you're a Muslim, you are the worst person in the world. Right? That's not true. Right? If you actually look at the foundations of these religions and the teaching of these religions, they're almost identical. Okay? So our next pillar is prayer. Right? The importance of praying 5 times a day, starting at sunrise, ending at sunset. It's often done on a prayer mat, facing east towards Mecca. Okay? Let's say you either you practice Islam already or you convert to Islam. You can request at a school or a workplace that they provide a place for you to pray, right? Because it's part of your religion. So at my old high school where I started teaching at Burlington, Vermont, there was a huge Muslim population. Because of our refugee population, a huge Muslim population, and we had specific prayer rooms in each of our buildings where students at certain times throughout the day would go and pray. There's a whole process before you pray. You put yourself in the proper state of mind and spirit to pray, and you perform ablutions. So if you ever watch somebody pray before they do one of their 5 times a day of prayer, they'll actually wash from fingertips to elbows, from knees to feet, in order to cleanse themselves to be ready to pray. Any questions on prayer? Okay, we're going to go to, it's called Zakah, next, Z-A-K-A-H, which is the giving of alms or charity. So it is required to give something to somebody who has less than you. So in the strict interpretation, it's 1/40 of the revenue of a year in cash or kindness. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean I have to give 1/40 of my money to Rita. Right? I can just be really nice to Rita. I probably won't. Right? So I probably would prefer to give her money. Right? But kindness is a piece of it. Okay? To purify or legitimize the gaining of private property. Okay? So you get, but you also give. That is important in the Islamic faith. You get and give. And it helps believers of the Islamic faith focus on a sense of social responsibility. Right? We are all in this together. The more that we help each other, the easier it is to survive. Okay, our next one is SAWM, S-A-W-M, which stands for fasting. So during Ramadan, which is a holy month, depends on your interpretation if you are a Muslim, how long it lasts. But during Ramadan, during daylight hours, so sunrise to sunset, no food or drink. Depending on how strict your interpretation of the Quran is whether or not you can consume water. Many of my students would often, I had students who did full fasts, and I had students who would drink water throughout the day. But it's to connect the body to the spirit and help the believer come closer to God. Right? So it's a little bit of suffering, and you come closer to God through that. Any questions on this? It's hard. My students really struggle with that. Yes?
Well, how does somebody start the day?
Well, you eat, so it's sunrise to sunset. Right? So you wake up, sunrise is now at about 6:30, 7. Sun sets at like 5. So between those hours is when you don't eat. Your body physically cannot start to that time. Yeah. And usually there's like a big fat meal that you share with your family. Okay, the next one is the Hajj, which is you make a pilgrimage at least once in your life to Mecca. Do you guys remember why Mecca is important? Pray towards Mecca, but why? Birthplace of Muhammad. So at least once in your lifetime, you make a pilgrimage there. Do pilgrimages exist in other religions?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So a lot of people who are Jewish will make a pilgrimage to Israel. Right? I have a lot of friends who are Jewish who, you can get scholarships and stuff to do so through different synagogues. So they went to Israel. A lot of Christians might make pilgrimages. So a lot of Catholics might make pilgrimages to the Vatican. Other Christians might make pilgrimages to where's an important place right now that a lot of Christians might make pilgrimages to during this month. Bethlehem, right? Because that's where it was believed that Jesus was born. So a lot of Christians make that pilgrimage. This is a little clip of what a pilgrimage to Mecca might look like.
Oh, I see this one.
I'll go find the clip after. Alright, any questions on this 5-pillar stuff? Okay, do you guys feel confident that, Yep, 1 second. Do you guys feel confident that you're able to rock this piece in the midterm?
Do we midterm try to for the Hajj?
No. I would just make sure you know that at least the English translations of them. Alright, did you find that real quick? Yes, Kobe, you can go.
Fight. At the heart of the city is a great mosque called Al-Masjid Al-Haram, and at its center is the Kaaba. Muslims don't worship the Kaaba. They worship what it represents, the one God. Hajj takes place in and around Mecca. It is a series of rituals performed between the 8th and 13th days of the last month of the Islamic calendar. Concept in the Kaaba is the final
These
act.
are all people making that
It's
noise.
also the top priority of pilgrims when they first get to Mecca. For Muslims who have prayed in this direction every day for years, seeing the Kaaba for the first time is almost overwhelming. Now to the Valley of Mina, where the Prophet Muhammad stopped and rested on his Hajj nearly 14 centuries ago. This is a town that grows from virtually 0 to 2 million people overnight. At dawn on the next day, the camps stir with anticipation for the greatest day of the Hajj.
So think about that. All of a sudden, whoo, too many people here.
Camp of Arafat. Some 50,000 vehicles clog the roads. Arafat is 8 miles east of Mina. It's the place Muslims believe Adam and Eve found each other after exile from Eden, and it's seen by many as a rehearsal for the day of judgment.
It's Judgment Day. All the trappings of lives are before me, and we see these people in front of God Almighty. And that's all there is.
A strange quiet descends in the afternoon as people turn inward. It's called the Standing at Arafat. Only when the sun has set can pilgrims leave Arafat. Nearly 2 million people stand poised to move as soon as the sun dips below the horizon. The pilgrims move back toward the white tents of Mina, where tomorrow they will engage in a symbolic battle with the devil. Here, Muslims believe God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son, but the devil challenged him not to. One story says Abraham pelted the devil with stones 3 separate times, chasing him away.
So they're going to be during your Hajj. You go
Mark
to
the
several
spots
different
where
religious
Abraham
sites.
stood his ground. At a place called Muzdalifah, on the way to the rivers, pilgrims pick up pebbles to stone Satan themselves. The ritual is called the Jumat. With all other rites complete, pilgrims return to Mecca for a grand parting visit. They have all earned an honorific title, Haji for the men, Hajjah for the women. Pilgrims arrive alone in a current of a million strangers and go home riding a spiritual wave of rebirth.
Any questions on religion aspect of your midterm?